ibtutovids. I'm Jordan Dermas, and this is the good and the bad about writing a research question for your EE. Now, the EE is the extended essay, and this is crucial to the IB diploma. Now, there are a few things that IB does not want you to do and does want to see in your research question. And this is coming straight from an IB textbook. Now, first, let's talk about what you need to have. Now, first is the subject. Your subject really is you choosing one specific diploma program subject, whether it be physics or biology or history or psychology or English. You have to choose a specific diploma subject. As you see here, I have multi-subject. If it's broad and it's multi-subject, that's bad, because you're not focusing on one aspect of whatever you're looking into. Next is the sources. Now, if you watched my ECLA video when I was describing how you discover what you want to do for the EE, sources is very important to what you're writing. And IB wants you to have good access to these sources. So in that video, I talked about how the literature may or may not exist. However, even if it does exist, are you able to access it? And that's another thing is, do you have good or available access to those sources? Now, next is focus. You have to make sure that your essay remains detailed and focused on one subject area, on one topic, and not drifting off. In a way, that's what I put here, no focus. Now, focus kind of means it's a narrow topic. It's a very specific question. It's asking, it's instead of asking why is the sky blue or why is grass green, ask why is a specific grass this type of green during this season. Becoming very, very specific. Next is the criteria, and this means is your essay going to fit well into the criterion? The criterion A, criterion B, criterion C, the criteria of the essay, your grading scale. So that's very important when you're looking at how well are you going to be able to convey your topic. Now, I put ICLA here because that's talking about how interesting, and this is what that video explains, is how to choose something that is interesting for you and you're qualified to do. Because if you show interest in your essay, it makes it a better essay, it makes it a better research question, it makes it a better analysis. And overall, it has to be a question. Your question has to be a question. It cannot be a book report. Don't think of it as a book report. Think of it as you're getting asked a question on a test, and you have to answer this question. You have all the research materials in the world, and you made up your own question. That's the way you have to think about it. And that's where it comes to hypothetical. A hypothetical question is very difficult to answer and almost impossible to get a straightforward conclusion. So avoiding hypotheticals is very, very important. If you say hypothetically, what would happen if JFK reacted badly in the Cuban Missile Crisis? That's a very difficult answer to question to ask and question to answer, and IB does not want to see that. Next is no focus. If it's a very broad topic, I was talking about the grass, there's no way you can write that in 4,000 words. You can talk about all that in 4,000 words. And that's one reason why you don't want a large variety of things you have to focus on. In my case, my topic is very specific. So I do have to dabble in a lot of different type of literature in order to find little bits and pieces about my specific topic. But in a way, that shows how narrow it is that I have to hunt down the information. And next is too simple or too complicated. Now, that means if it's too simple, we were talking about the graphs. You don't want an obvious answer. You don't want to give like an answer that everyone can come up with or that didn't take that much analysis. And too complicated is when I talked in the ECLA video, I talked about the JFK assassination If you're pulling two things that are too far apart, close to each other, that's very, very complicated and very, very difficult to do without proper first account literature and whatnot. Now, next is not a question, and I just talked about this. You don't want to have a book report. So, now lastly is multi-subject. Again, I dabbled in this. You want to be specific in your world subject. There's only one exclusion. You could do multiple subjects. You can do 2 subjects if you're doing the World Studies extended essay. But other than that, you have to stick within one diploma program subject. And I also recommend it's a subject that you have taken. However, it's very possible to do something outside of a class you've taken, but I recommend you also get the textbook for the class. And it'll help you understand what how IB teaches the course. Thank you, and have a great day.